How's it going, everybody? I'm back again. I know this video was technically supposed to be the video on my thoughts about the current state of CrossWorlds, both casually and competitively, but we got a new update to the item distribution table because someone decided that they wanted to fix it. Nah, I'm kidding. ThetaKappa, thank you so much, dude. First, I want to shout out from last video, ThetaKappa. He is the author to the item distribution table. I had no idea who it was. I am so thankful that he was able to not only tell me it was him, but he was also able to allow me to keep utilizing this information and using it in videos. Thank you so much to ThetaKappa, genuinely. Without him, this information would not have gotten out. Now, I'm going to go over quickly before we talk about anything else. I'm going to do a quick summary of the previous video's points. If you didn't watch the previous video, I highly recommend go watching it before you watch this, because this is only going over a few gadgets. But to quickly summarize, item distribution has 5 key rules. These are distance, position, duplicates clause, item count limitation, and time restriction. Each of these rules define how item distribution works fully. Distance is how far you are from first place. Position is what position you're in. No duplicates means you're not able to get a duplicate item if you already have it in your inventory. Now, there are some items like Magnet and Spike Ball that you cannot get both in your inventory unless you roll a double box. And you can roll the same item, but you have to have no items in your inventory, and it's super rare, but it has happened to a few people. Item count limit just means there are some items in the game that have item limits, those being Omochow, Monster Truck, and Drill with an item limit of 3. Weights, Slime, King Boom Boo, and Dark Chow have a limit of 1. And then time restriction means there are a few items in the game that have a limitation before they can appear and before they can be reused. I'm not going to be going over that, but just to quickly help out, this is the item count, start time limitation, and reappearance time limitation. It is very important, but again, please go watch my other video so you get a better idea of this. Now, what we'll be going over today is how the gadgets affect the odds of pulling these items. So, magnification here is what ThetaKappa is calling it. It is a perfect way to put it. Now, what is he trying to define with this? So, this is basically an equation for defining how probability works while keeping all odds within that 100% threshold. It is basically final probability, which is the fixed probability on the right side, is equal to the original probability of the item you're checking times its modifier. So for this instance, tornado, so the original probability is 10, multiply that by 4, and then what you're going to do is divide that by the sum total of all original probabilities and their modifiers. What does this mean? So basically, as he's showing you, you're going to take 10 times 4 is 40, and 5 times 4 is 20. You have 60 here. Then do 60 times the total of all other odds, which will give you 145. This is because it is 85 for all other odds. So it's going to be 60 plus 85, which gives you 145. Then you divide the number for tornado being 40, right? You divide 40 by 145, and that is what gets you 27.6%. Now, you might be wondering, Destello, I think you're lying to me. And you know what? That's fair enough. You can think that all you want. Here's the thing, too bad. That is not how the math works, my friend. So, it is very simple to do this. Now, genuinely, the hardest part is just making sure you calculate the base probability odds and with the multiplied probability odds, it's just making sure you add everything correctly. So, let's put this into perspective, right? If I have Giant Iron Spike Ball, which gives me a 10 times multiplier, we are going to take this 32% of Spike Ball, multiply it by 10, which will give us 320. Then we are going to add all other odds in this table, which is 68%. You're going to add 68 to 320, which will give you 388, if I'm correct. And then you're going to divide 320, which is the multiplied odds of Spike Ball, divided by 388, which will give you 82.47%, otherwise known as 82.5 due to rounding. See? And this stays perfectly equal with all these other options. So we do Tornado Shield, right? We take that 40 divided by 145, we will get that 27.6. Same thing with Shield. We take 20 divided by 145, right? That will give us 13.8%. It's technically 13.97, but rounding is a thing. So you might be wondering, how do these odds affect my rolls? Here's the neat part. They only affect your initial roll. So if I pick up Giant Iron Spike Ball, right? You see how I have a 0.8% of Omochow? If I pick this Spike Ball up, I will get the original odds with or without Spike Ball existing, as long as I pick it up. So, if I picked up Spike Ball here, with all the other odds on the table, if I'm correct, it is a 7% odd to get Omochow. And as you see, regardless if I take Giant Iron Spike Ball off, that odd stays the exact same. The only thing that's affected is the initial odds of rolling the item. This matters a lot. Am I going to show you every single item on this table? No, because that is too much. But basically, this is basically just showing how odds are altered and how everything stays within 100%. It is very important to know what gadgets are the best for this. One of the gadgets I want to highlight right now is defense up. This is because this 4 times multiplier is way more than just this. Do you remember how I talked about how the special boxes were garbage? So remember how the special boxes only have 3 items in the category, and I told you hold your green gloves, and if you hold your green gloves before picking one up, you have a 33% chance of shield. With defense item up, that flips the whole script. Now we have a 66.7% chance of shield. You might be wondering, Destello, how does this matter? Why should I care? What if you need a shield on final lap, right? Now this is talking about builds for non-UC players. Let's talk about this. I need a shield on final lap, and it's very important that I get this, otherwise I lose. With defense item up, having and holding a green glove from being in first place, you have a 91% chance of shield. Think of this. 91% chance of shield with a 9% total of everything else in the pool. And what are those other items? Dark Chow and 100 ring. Now granted, we take green glove out, it's still 80%. Now, this matters a lot. 3rd through 5th, same ordeal if you're really close to first place. Now granted, this changes from 3rd and 5th onward, but if you're in 2nd or 1st, having defense item up doesn't look too bad, especially if you're holding a green glove. So, this is just something I wanted to highlight. Now granted, again, we can talk about giant green glove. It won't affect any of the odds. Once you pick up green glove, the odds go back to normal. You will have natural odds the moment you pick it up. It is just how it works. Attack item up. Once every attack item in the pool is picked up, so let's go back to the normal boxes. If I were to pick up Bomb and Green Glove, my odds for Omochao will be the exact same with or without attack item up. This is because all the items in the pool, aka all those attack items that have the 4 times multiplier, have been acquired. This means all the normal odds are now back in play. This is vital to understand. This determines what you should be running for your gadget of choice, especially if you like some of these gadgets. Defense item up is a 2 slot. Speed item up is a 3 slot. So you might be wondering, oh no, this is gonna suck, isn't it? Well, we get 3rd through 5th, 6th through 8th, 9th through 12th. It's pretty significant realistically, especially if you're pulling these guys. Now imagine this. Even if you trying to pull triple, or even if you tried to pull slicer, you're not getting a huge multiplier now. You've already increased that multiplier by quite a lot. So, this matters more with special boxes again. Special boxes, believe it or not, can utilize this a little bit better. Again, pick up green glove, and you're not guaranteeing a shield or a speed item, aka triple wisp. And especially in 2nd, if you're somehow able to pull this, little ridiculous. Now, again, I just want to preface this. This is just a point of interest because there's so many little things about this game now. Because, again, same odds with Wisp up, Omochao is back to normal. Take Wisp champ off, boom, everything's back to normal. This is just a little follow-up video showing you that we got a new update to this and how it works. Even if I were to change the odds of every single item in the special pool, or every single item in the normal pool, utilizing speed up and wisp up, the multipliers will stack up. When you stack these multipliers, it gets pretty crazy. Should you ever do this? No. Doing this will immediately ruin all your RNG. You need to not do this. I highly recommend pick one option. There is no need to go 5 of these gadgets. Like, I should never, if I see any of you run the super slot gamble extraordinaire build, you're permabanned. No, but seriously, do not run this. This is just showing you what you can do to guarantee certain items. And if you're in first place and you're trying to guarantee better items and you want to keep pulling spike balls to set traps, you can do that. You're putting yourself at the highest odds of getting spike ball, and then you're putting yourself at the highest odds of rolling an item that can just benefit you almost. Now granted, you're still getting outweighed by green glove and bomb, but you're at least putting the odds a little more in favor of guarantee you get the best item possible to give you the best odds of other items. Because both hazard items can't be in play at the same time in your inventory unless you pick them up from a double box. So, this can help you tremendously. And if you're running Giant Iron Spike Ball, if you roll Spike Ball, keep in mind you're still weighing the fact that you're going to get Magnet just as often, because Magnet is the 2nd highest obtained item in first place, due to the odds. Now, granted, there's not much else I can go over, unfortunately, because everything else is realistically just, hey, the odds of this item are increased, but the odds don't alter after picking up all your items. Even if I have both the attack items, my odds for getting an Omochao, Shield, and Tornado will be the exact same even without it. It doesn't change anything. The only thing that's affected is the fact that with special boxes, you have a much higher chance of getting a shield, which is something that will heavily heavily impact you and positively save your race. Speed item up in the special boxes are much more beneficial, and this is how you're going to outweigh some of these terrible odds from things such as KBB, weight, slime, things of that nature. Remember how I talked about how this was one of the worst pools to pull from, and how you could easily grief yourself, especially if I didn't have things like green glove, red glove, and things of that nature? We're literally rolling the odds against you. With speed item up, you're able to give yourself a much higher chance of not griefing yourself, which is something huge. Again, the same thing goes with shield. You don't want to have that chance of rolling a 66.7% chance of 100 bonus ring. Slap on defense item up and go with green glove, and look what happens. Special items become a plausible option. Anyways, guys, this is just a quick update video on the item distribution table. I know it's very short. I just needed to get this out because there's not a lot to really talk about. The only major points that you need to understand from this video, the way everything is calculated is through very easy equation. Again, I'll go back to the item distribution sheet to show this off. With the item distribution sheet, ThetaKappa highlights this very clearly how it works. It is very simple. Now, granted, the equation itself looks way more complex than this, so ThetaKappa did a very good job of simplifying it for everybody. But basically, the main takeaway from this video is really just to showcase that these gadgets that change the odds of your items are much stronger than they looked initially, and it's much stronger than we all thought they were. Remember how Wisp Chance Up had a 3% increase to Wisp? They meant a 3 times multiplier. Think of it like this. If you had a 3 times multiplier to get a Wisp, let's do the odds for Wisp Chance Up, right? Wisp Chance Up originally was a 3% increase. Now, it's actually a 3 times multiplier. You may be wondering, well, we have a 1.5 times. It's not that bad. Okay, let's do the math. 20% times 3 is 60, right? 60 plus 80 is 140. So 60 divided by 140 means you had a 43% chance to get a Wisp when you're 25 meters away from first. If we take the odds of Wisp Chance Up with a single white Wisp at 100 meters away in second place, you would have a 50-50 chance of pulling a Wisp in second place when you needed it most. And it's not even funny. And if we were to, say, take up that green glove slot, we would now have a 31.3% chance multiplied by that 3 times, which is 93.9%. Then you're going to add that to the other odds, which will be 68.7% off the top of my head. Then you're going to take 93.9 divided by 162.6, and you would have a 58% chance to roll a white Wisp with a OG Wisp Chance Up while holding a green glove. It is unbelievable. And holding a green glove right here, you would have a 50% chance if you're really close to first place while you're in second. There's a reason why Wisp Chance Up had to get nerfed. We didn't see this originally. We didn't know about this. So, anyways, guys, that's been this video. Very short, very sweet, hopefully. Just a little summary to what's been changed. Again, I would like to shout out ThetaKappa one more time. Thank you so much for allowing me to use this information. Thank you for building this whole sheet and the item probability distribution calculator. Thank you so much, ThetaKappa. I appreciate it so much. This taught me a lot about how these gadgets function. Again, I didn't go over the odds in every single category, but it's just too much information to fit in one video unless you want me to go over a 2-hour-long session of talking about how you should be playing your items in every which way. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you today. Just a little quick summary of what has all changed and what all new information has been discovered, and talking about how Wisp Chance Up used to be super broken and we just had no idea about it. Have yourselves a great one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time. So I'll see what I can do. Maybe I'll be able to read them. So forgive me if it takes a minute. New esports team. What the fuck? What? Yo, I did go to Australia for real. What the fuck was that? Sir, I'm gonna need your insurance info after that shit. No kidding. Yo, I might need to exchange insurance.